Buddy, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest today is Matt Shakir, and Matt is a passionate entrepreneur, international life and business coach, having gone through massive struggles in his own life while still being able to achieve a high level of results along the way. Throughout his life, he succeeded in numerous sales roles in multiple industries and found an underlying theme to want to serve others, helping them uncover their innate talents alongside their greatest capacity and fulfillment, while achieving their goals and finding their true passions for life. Welcome to the show, Matt.
How you doing, Jim? How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
I got a first time read for the first time in like 4 shows, so I'm really, really good. Oh wait, no, that was take 2. I'm sorry. I tried. The first question I always ask everybody on the show is, what lit your fire to become an entrepreneur? What was that thing, or if it was such a thing? You know what I'm saying? Just give me a little background on how you became an entrepreneur, what happened there.
Yeah, well, I mean, my first entrepreneurial venture when I was 11 years old, I lived and grew up in New England, so we got a lot of snow, and I just always knew that I wanted to make money. I was passionate about making money and earning money. The opportunities were just always there. I was fortunate to grow up around a dad and many of my uncles who I was very, very close to, that all, were self-employed. So it was really ignited in us at a very early age. So we were encouraged to go out there, grab your shovels and go, knock on doors, my Uncle Larry used to say, and see if you guys can shovel some snow and make some money. And I kid you not, 11 years old, we would make over $1,000 in less than 24 hours,
Wow.
just door to door. And everybody would say yes. My uncle was like, yeah, tell them $20, $30, whatever you guys want. And I mean, we would in a matter of 24 hours make well over $1,000 at that age. So that lit the entrepreneurial spirit in me from a very, very young age. And ever since then, I never felt satisfied working for somebody else, because I always had a mindset of, I feel like I can do this better, or I can create this. You know what I mean? Even if it was something that I had zero interest in doing, those thoughts would always run across my mind, whether I was walking into a restaurant or going to a Home Depot or going to any kind of store. I always had that perspective of if I wanted to start this, could I? And yes, I could, and because I was around all my uncles that, had experienced a lot of success in varying, entrepreneurial ventures, from trucking companies to restaurants to, service companies like tree businesses and landscaping. I always had the foresight of, this is something that I have to do. Like, I know that I don't want to answer to anybody. I know that I want to be of service to other people in a way that I can truly curate that from. So,
man, that's amazing. And it's a grant. See, I live in Michigan, so I kind of understand the snow struggle, because we live right by Lake Michigan. We have like 100 inches of snow a year. So we really do. We get blasted usually. Right now it's weird because it's like in the 40s or something, but it's kind of strange. I mentioned in the bio that you had struggles and things that held you back. The second question I usually ask is, what struggles held you back on your journey, either internally or externally? And if you could please share that with our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm very honest, so I will be very transparent here. A lot of my struggles initially started from, having parents that were, that fought, so there was a lot of anxiety and frustration and stress in the household at a very young age. So naturally, as a kid, I absorbed that. And so the internal struggle that I had was, never feeling fulfilled. Just like I kind of spoke to in that last story, like, at a very early age, I had a business and I was making more than most doctors and attorneys make at 15, 16, 17 years old, making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000 sometimes during the, in a week. And it was never enough. So that old story that I was living out up until really this past couple of years, was I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. This isn't good enough. And it didn't matter what I had. So naturally, even through the success that I've had rolling into finance in New York City and also in medical sales, was, and nothing is ever enough. So I guess I might as well do some, drink and jump into booze, and then booze led to blow. And then next thing you know, I'm partying on a very, very, very often basis. Let's put it that way. So, and that kind of brought me into like some serious depression and anxiety and, just lack of passion and fulfillment for life. And, fortunately, because I was, monetarily and professionally very successful, I just dove into doing the work, therapy and coaching and yoga and meditation and breathwork practices. I started those, probably more than 5 or 6 years ago now. And honestly, I could truly say like that changed my entire life. It changed my perspective on life. And I started to really do that deep inner work to start to remove some of the feelings and the emotions that had been kind of, had set root, since childhood. So.
Wow. That's amazing. I appreciate you sharing that with us, because it's very difficult to share some of those things, because, you are successful and you have done a lot of things, and it's hard to bring that out. I really appreciate you being transparent here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
So you go from that. How do you dive into courses in yoga and meditation, and that helps? And what's the story from there? Where are you now compared to then?
Yeah. Well, now it's kind of wild. I was actually just reflecting on this morning because I was doing some journaling. The path is it's forever. Life to me is a lifelong healing and growth journey. When you have that kind of mindset, which is what I've adopted, is that you're never fully complete. But I will tell you that now, from doing all that work and continuously doing that work, I've never felt more passion and fulfillment for life. So now when I earn, a great income, or when I'm of service to people, or when I can enjoy, a nice trip or whatever, and I'm not worried about it, it's from a place of, having my cup truly, truly full, and it wasn't until last year, or even this year really, where that came to life fully. And I was able to be like, yeah, that is my 100% truth. Like, I am full. And now anything coming into my life is now an addition. It's not a replacement. It's not to fill a hole. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And because I invest so much into my own, into my own modalities, like still therapy and coaching, because it has done so much for me. I know that stopping that doesn't make any sense. Limiting the amount of, the quantity of that is lessened, because I'm in this beautiful state that I've gotten to now. But it's something that is important to me. It's part of my self-care rituals. Let's just put it that way. So
kind of like self-maintenance right now.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I mean, I've been on this show and done a few episodes now in the 30s, and I've met some incredible people along that journey. And I have this belief that if we all get together and more good people succeed, then we have a tipping point in the world. And I believe that we will actually change things for the next generation and the next generation of entrepreneurs coming up. And I think that with those and us together, I think we can actually change a lot in the world. I really believe that.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. And, that's probably why I kind of fell into coaching, is because I believe that, shifting the world is first and foremost shifting yourself. Mm-hmm. And secondly, there's so many people that, that need others to be their beacon of light until they can really uncover their own. And so the first experience I had with that was meditation, because meditation taught me about breath work. And it taught me about our yoga too, and getting into those practices and really just, uncovering and reflecting upon how powerful we are as humans, and how if we show up in a certain way at a certain frequency, that ripples out to every single person we come in contact with, even the people we walk by on the street that we don't even converse with.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I really do understand that as well. Can you explain a little bit more about the breathing? You mentioned it a couple of times, but maybe people
Yeah.
out there don't know what that is.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I highly recommend checking out Dan Brule's book called Just Breathe.
Okay, we're going to have to put that in the notes down below. So I should
Yeah.
have that down below for a link maybe to Amazon or something to pick up that book.
Yep. He actually, he's kind of like the Tony Robbins of breathwork. He's been teaching it for over 40 years. And, you know, breathwork to me is, you know, people think, oh, I breathe all day. Well, you know, most humans actually use less than 40% of their lung capacity. So if you think about that in terms of the duration of how long you live, you're living a shorter life because you're not breathing fully. You know, a full, complete breath is breathing from the, you know, the lower abdomen up into the chest, the sternum area, and then up into the throat. So it's like a three-part breath. And naturally, you should breathe through your nose. It's a filter, like a vacuum cleaner. It's a filter for the toxins to stay out of your system. So if you read into breathing, you'll realize that it's probably the most important thing we can do in our lives, the best preventative medicine that we have access to, and it's free all day long. You know what I mean? And when you breathe, I will tell you honestly, Jim, it's changed my life in ways that I can never ever put a value on. Breathing, you know, and it's really coming to life. You have guys like Wim Hof, you know, who's broken 26 world records up in the Arctic, hiking Everest, you know, with just shorts and boots on. Like, some really radical things are happening because people have tapped into breath work. And eventually it will become probably just as important and just as well known as like CrossFit or, you know, meditation is now becoming, you know. But these are practices, these are techniques that yogis over in the Himalayas have been doing for thousands of years. And they're, you know, it's beautiful that they've now rolled into Western civilization, but it's the most important thing we can do is breathe consciously. One of the basic breathwork techniques is just to close your eyes and just watch your breath as if you were watching a movie. Don't try to control it. Just truly, truly watch and feel and tap into the senses of the inhale and the exhalation. And it will completely change your life. Promise you that.
Now you've got me paying attention to that right now. Oh, for real. I'm sitting there breathing and I'm thinking, oh, I'm not doing it right. That's okay. That's okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do now for people, how you help people through their struggles and things?
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about, you know, the success I've had in medical sales, I was able to travel the world. So in the latter part of 2017, I did a yoga teacher training in Thailand. And that really deepened all my practices. And, you know, I kept journaling for that entirety of that 6 months that I was going all over really Southeast Asia, New Zealand, and up into Europe. And I recognized that, you know, the running theme that continued to come up for me was that I wanted to help other people. And that I feel like my innate gift is to see in other people what they may not see in themselves. And then, you know, match that with a very high energy, intense positivity that I have naturally. It just kind of rolled into my life. And, you know, when I was in kind of a really, really tough part of my life, I've hired a coach, and he was also into breath work. And I just recognized how powerful I felt in that lower state, that lower vibration that I was in that particular part of my life, how it shifted in the matter of a 30-minute call. And it just kind of like, that was setting like a seedling in my eyes of like, you know, again, like going back to what I said originally, like, I can do this. And can I do this better? Can I do this in a way where I can deliver all of my energy and love and compassion for others, and also match it with all of these modalities that I'm really spending time on, like yoga, like breath work, like meditation, like speaking to others in ways that they haven't been spoken to in their lives, in a way that I can empower them and inspire them to tap into, you know, what I call like the fire within. Like, each and every single one of us has a fire within. It just hasn't been harvested and brought out. because of old stories, because of childhood trauma, because of all of the conditioning we've experienced from the moment we are born to decades and decades. People will live with that unless you work through it. So it naturally, because I had this vast array of experience in various healings, and I invested so much in myself, inclusive of that travel, I was like, this is my mission. This has to be my mission. And as I began to kind of like farm that, I recognized, you know, my own power and how much just being myself had such an impact on the others that I spent time with, that I had contact with.
That's really, really good. How long did it take you from being in that place of partying and the depression and all that stuff to get to that higher vibration where you are now? How long of a period of time did that take?
Yeah, I mean, I had moments of it, you know, throughout the last 5 to 10 years, but I would say in the last 2 years is where I realized that naturally I'm like, this is my natural state, and I can harvest that as I continue to show up in that way for myself and really build a powerful morning routine. And in the last year, it's almost 10x itself, because I've been so consistent with my practices. I actually quit drinking, so that it furthermore really just invigorated me as a human, but also how I was able to show up every single day for my clients and for people that I've just developed deep friendships with, and other people that I've just made connections with that, you know, are in kind of my, you know, my second sphere, so to say. So yeah, so it's been a long journey, you know. Nothing is, there's no magic pill. I've learned that there's no light switch that you can flick off. The anxiety, depression, substance abuse, whatever it is that, you know, that you're facing head on, but a step in the right direction, a step forward, and the consistency to match that movement allows you to break at least some of the freedom of the shackles that you've got around you, is what I'm recognizing. So.
Have you ever heard of the book called The Slight Edge?
No, I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's a book about like winning the day. Okay, doing everything like just today. Don't worry about it being a program or whatever it is, but you do these steps today. You know what I'm saying? So like I have a lot of struggles, but say one is weight, you know, and if I eat pizza for today and you eat healthy, it's not going to make a difference. But in 6 months, if I consistently do that and you consistently eat healthy, big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference.
Exactly.
So it's the mindset of win today. And I think morning and evening routines are huge, just huge. I think people don't realize how important it is to wake up and do certain things in a certain order every day.
Yep, exactly.
Do you see that as well?
I do. And there's a really amazing book by Aubrey Marcus called Own the Day, Own Your Life. He's definitely one of my mentors. And I mean, he's right. You know, how you, and it's one thing I do with every single client I work with, is we build a powerful morning routine, because how you show up for your morning is how you're going to experience your day, which is how you're going to experience your life. If you're getting out of bed in shambles and rushing to work and not eating breakfast and not doing any kind of movement or meditation or breath work to really take care of you first and foremost, I compare it to like a kite. Like, you're just a kite being carried through your day by things you have no control over. So when you take even 30 minutes to harness what your morning is, and I say movement, breathwork, meditation, you know, doing those three in some facets. I do like to include journaling and things like that, or like a cup of tea sometimes, or, coffee with like CBD oil, or, you know, any of those things I'll kind of pop in there. But yes, like, I can honestly say of all of the things, I've spent well over $250,000 on self-care in some context over the last,
and that's what we need.
3 to 5 years. Exactly. But I will say the most pivotal thing for me has been my morning routine consistency. When I don't do my morning routine, I don't feel good. I feel like I'm in a chaotic experience that because I haven't started my morning on on the right note, the most powerful note for me. And that will dictate everything for me.
So what about, like, I don't want to give away secrets, so I don't know how comfortable you'll be with the question. So if not, we can move on. That's fine. But and just go basic maybe. What is your morning routine? Can you tell somebody just kind of, because that would really help other people to say, okay, I kind of see what you're talking about, but I don't really have a schedule, so I don't understand. Okay, I get up,
Sure.
what do I do?
Yeah, so I wake up naturally, sometime between 4:15 and 5 o'clock. And I will pretty much get out of bed. I normally will go and grab some water. Sometimes I'll add cayenne pepper or Himalayan sea salt or lemon juice. And then I'll just dive right into my routine. So the first thing I do is movement. I like to move my body. I'll either do like a little bit of a yoga flow or stretching, and you have access to thousands of free videos on YouTube alone. So some type of flow, and then I will go to the gym and I'll do a workout, and then I'll usually come back and then I'll do my breath work, which is a breath work routine called 49 breaths. You can find that on YouTube as well. And then that's like a powerful breath work combined with like I am statements, like I am bold, I am a warrior, I am ready to seize the day and create the life that I want. So it's a really beautiful mix of affirmations along with breath work. And then I will drop into 2 different meditations. I do a wealth meditation to like really call in wealth and abundance in the things that I want to create in my life. And then also I'll do a meditation on old childhood stuff that still kind of will come up, and how to face that and how to really create a pause so that I can respond and not react to what challenges are brought to me in my life. That's my morning routine. And then
I love that. Yeah. Okay, gonna adopt that. No, I'm kidding.
It's a good hour and a half that I spend, sometimes 2, because I go to the gym. That's usually about an hour in and of itself. But, it took me a while. Like when I started meditating, I would do like 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, and it was hard, So it's all about knowing that it's a practice. There's no goal in sight. It's truly a practice, whether you're doing yoga, whether you're eating clean, whether you're going to the gym every day, whether you're journaling. It's just a practice. It's something that you should carry on for the entirety of your life. It's not about getting good at it or getting to it's okay to have those goals, but focus on what you're doing so you can feel good. Because at the end of the day, any of these things, any of these components by themselves create a new feeling within yourself, a new state of mind, so to say. So it allows you to really truly create this invigoration within, which is going to show up in your external human experience, in your reality.
You're creating new neural pathways.
Exactly.
And there's so many people that have been on this, going to be and have been on the show talking about law of attraction, those type of things, and your vibration and where you're at, how you break through and things like that. It's really, really fascinating stuff. It really is. And I think your evening routine and sleep are very important. I don't get enough sleep. That's the bottom line. I've started to really try to practice getting 8 hours of sleep. It doesn't always work for me, but I've really tried to do that now. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a key component as well, or where are you at?
I really do. I wouldn't say my evening routine is as structured as my morning routine, but in the evening I do usually try to read. For 20 to 30 minutes. I'll do a little bit of journaling, and then I try to be in bed by 9. So I try to get to bed early because naturally, like I said, I wake up really early. Like my circadian rhythm just gets me up around 4:15. So
I'm the same. Yeah.
You can't go back to bed. So my evening routine is more subtle. But I do know there's just such a potency to having your evening routine just as powerful as your morning routine. And that's something if you're, if the listeners, do pick up that book, Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey. He talks a lot about evening routines as well. There's Yeah, how you start and finish your day is everything. If you're, just like the morning, if you're just in the evening, just plopping into bed and you just didn't do any kind of reflection or anything about the day, that's how you're going to feel during your sleep. And then that's going to translate into how you wake up. So, those two routines, morning and evening, truly impact your life in a way it's truly invaluable.
I was talking to, and this one hasn't come out yet because we've had some technical difficulties on both ends and we can't figure it out quite yet. But Colleen Sedano has really powerful stuff in the realm of harmonic resonance, the law of harmonic resonance. And it's basically the law of attraction. But she brought up a point where our brains can change, where a long time we did not think that was possible, but now it is. And there's a protein marker that she talks about that when we sleep erases the neural pathways that aren't used any longer. So when we go to changing our vibration, changing our mindset from negative to positive, whatever animal we feed pretty much is the one that's going to win out. So the other one will eventually die off and there will be only the positive neural pathway.
Yeah.
So it's really important.
And I can honestly say I'm experiencing that in my life right now. Like I don't even remember the last time I had like a truly negative thought that wasn't instantly turned into a positive. Okay, what can I learn about this? How can I get curious about this? What is this saying about me? What do I need to work through? But I remember, probably maybe 5 years ago, where every single morning I was paralyzed, in my mind with negative, just spiraling thoughts. And it's almost like I'm not even the same person. Like I look back at that as like, wow, that's incredible. And you're right. That famous saying, which wolf are you feeding? Are you feeding the wolf that says you're not good enough, you can't do this, no, don't start that business, no, don't put yourself out in the world, on the dating app, or whatever it is that you truly, truly want? My big mission is like, and then some of the thing that I really live by is, what do you fear most? And that's what you should be going after, because that's what's going to give you the golden ticket of fulfillment and passion for your life, like truly purposeful life. Whatever it is that you fear, go head on.
That's deep.
Yeah, and knowing fear is not real. It's conjured up thoughts of the future that keep you from moving forward. But if you just trust, if you just execute. One of the things I say to a lot of my clients is motivation is not something you wait for. Motivation is gained by execution. When you step in any direction, no matter what it is, you're going to create momentum. You're going to create motivation. You're going to inspire and empower yourself, but you have to step forward first.
Wow.
To get that.
You're just vibing so amazing right now. You're in your own flow. I can see it. I can just see you going like, I love that. Oh my goodness. So powerful. I mean, oh, wow. I was going to ask you, in your coaching, what is the one big block you see in most of your clients?
Yeah. A lot of it boils down. Well, it starts at confidence, confidence to move forward in their business, confidence to get to a place where they're making $15K a month or whatever their big goal is. And that confidence is really strongly linked to fear. And what usually comes from under that is, again, old stories that I can't do this, stories that, why do I deserve this? I'm not worthy. My parents weren't able to have that kind of success, so why should I? A lot of this is not even conscious. They're unconscious of this, but when we begin to unpack it as we work, and move forward together, over 1, 2, 3 months, people really start to realize how much their old story has paralyzed them from living the life that they truly want to create. And so what we have to do is really, really break down and debunk that old story and recognize that it's not going to ever get you to the life you want. So we have to create a new story. We have to create a new version of yourself. And what does that look like? What kind of characteristics, what kind of actionable steps can you take to move forward in the direction of what you want to create. If it's manifesting that dream partnership, or if it's bringing your business, or your podcast even to a certain number of viewers, whatever it is, you got to do the deep inner work to be able to, again, increase your vibration to show up, to make and manifest that stuff into your life.
I totally agree with you 100%. How many people get stuck on, you mentioned people that they're stuck in themselves. Basically, it's a self-confidence thing, kind of like the imposter syndrome is what we kind of call it. But there's other things. So when your clients go through a level, say they break through and they get to another level, do you find that there's just more stuff that comes up and then more stuff that comes up that we have to keep working through until we break through to get to the point where I don't know if we've ever make it, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's always more to unpack, but the beauty about doing the work is you usually can get a lot of it out of the way, and then it's just kind of little refinements as you go along. That's kind of where I would say I'm at right now, is like, there's always things to work through. But as you break free from your own shackles, you begin to experience and feel that freedom, and that in turn allows you to show up in the way that you want, which is going to allow you to really start living the life that you truly, truly want to live. So, again, going back, a good friend of mine told me, life is a lifelong healing journey. It never stops, but you will absolutely experience the freedom, the bliss, the fulfillment, and passion as you do the work, as you begin to cultivate a stronger, newer version of you that really serves how you want to experience life.
I think that is so powerful for everyone out there to listen to, especially if you're struggling right now and you know what, when you feel like you're at a level and you just inside something's holding you back, you know it, because your heart starts to cringe and everything starts to, inside starts to feel awful, or it feels bad, or it feels negative. Then you need to do some kind of work. And I really recommend coaching. I absolutely recommend coaching, because sometimes we can't see what we can't see. We don't know what we don't know. And for other people, they can see it in us. It's easier for someone else to see stuff in us than it is for us to see stuff in us. And it helps you become unstuck a lot faster. A lot faster. If you want success in your business, don't give up. Get a coach.
Yep. I wholeheartedly agree. And it's why I will always have a coach. I just committed to an entire year of coaching next year with my coach. And, it's something I tell every single prospect that I get in front of, like everything. There's so many different modalities, from talk therapy to breath work to yoga to you name it. There's so many ways that we can experience healing and growth. But coaching 100% is the most powerful. And I don't say that just because I'm a coach. I say that because I've experienced and continue to experience powerful coaching, and it's elevated me both personally and professionally and entrepreneurially in ways that I could never do on my own, because it's such a way to have, like you said, that objective perspective. A coach can go in and say, have you looked at that? Or let's unpack that. Or what about if you thought about it from this manner? And you're not going to do that, because you live in what I call like this bubble of subjectivity. Like, your life experience is based on your conditioning, your early childhood, like the things you've been told and taught, and the experiences you've had, which no one else has had but you. The problem is a lot of that stuff isn't serving you, so it gets in your way. So a coach can point at it exactly with such potency, and accuracy, that you have to look at it. And it's a way that will empower you to move forward. It's a way that you can look back at the past, but let's build metrics and goals around moving forward, knowing that this particular thing is no longer serving the direction that you're going.
Absolutely. I say this, and you're going to understand this one. Some people don't, but you will. So I look at a coach like a father. We both get a lot of snow. So let me go preface that. So the dad's going to get out and start the car because it's cold outside. He's got to scrape it off and make the way, he makes the way to the car. When the kids go out to the car, when the car's ready and it's warmer and he's got all this, now that we have a remote start, it's a little different, but hey, bear with me. So they walk in his footsteps in the snow so they don't get a bunch of snow and a bunch of mess in their boots and all this other stuff, because he's created the trail. A coach creates the trail that we follow.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And a coach has a way to help you uncover solutions that you just won't do on your own. It's, I always say, it's like I'm, for every one of my clients, I am their dream team. Just like the USA basketball team had Michael Jordan and all these guys, like I am your dream team. I'm in your corner no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're challenged with, and having somebody, a sounding board, somebody that can really help you farm out the solutions within yourself is truly, it's just magical. It's a priceless experience that will get you. Most people, it'll take them 1-2 years to do something, where if you're working with a really, really amazing coach, you can do it in months, very short period of time.
Absolutely. So everybody that's been successful that I know has a coach. Every single person.
Yep.
Because they realize the value in someone else's perspective of them. That's really important too, because when we look in the mirror, a lot of times we see all the flaws and all the bad stuff, and I'm not good enough, and all the stories that keep repeating in our head. Our coach may see us as amazing. Oh my gosh, look how much potential this person has, and they just don't even see it. So that's another way that a coach can help us with our limiting beliefs, because seeing something in us that we don't see in ourselves.
Yes, exactly. And that allows you to put anything that's not serving you, the conditioning, the limiting beliefs, the limiting behaviors, whatever it is, on pause, or just to completely delete that from your life, because it is a choice. And if we continue to give ourselves the option to choose, especially things that aren't serving us, whether it's cigarette smoking, or whether it's waking up late, or whether it's not pursuing that big dream that we have to start our own business, that creates a lot of unnecessary and perpetual suffering. Whereas a coach will basically put that on a neon billboard for you to look at and be like, is this really the way you want to live? Is this really what you want to do every day with your life? Or do you want to truly, truly create a really incredible, fulfilling life that just ignites you, that every day you get out of your bed, you're excited? And that's the possibilities. There's truly infinite possibilities. And when you work with somebody that can really see in you, again, like what you don't see in yourself, it's open. It's an open door. What do you want to create of your life?
I'm just saying this. I mean, I haven't really thought about this until just now. So it's just a thought that popped in my head. But can you imagine an NBA, NFL team without a coach?
Oh, no. Even guys like, that LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan that outwork anybody, that will put hours and hours and hours and hours in of jump shots, and still they are going to get in their own way in some way, whether it's the ego, whether it's, somebody in the stands that's yelling something, whether it's a personal, conflict they have going on in their own life. They still are human beings. So a coach is still going to be able to say, hey, Kobe, or hey, LeBron, or, hey, Steve, Steph Curry, try this out, and shift the paradigm of their entire thought process, just by noticing something that they just cannot notice themselves, because they're in their own rhythm, they're on their own mind, they're in their own movement, And so that's why that, coaches like Phil Jackson get so many accolades and so much respect, because, even with players like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, he can build something that they individually cannot build even as a unit.
I think of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
He's a perfect example. Yeah, even better.
I just think that where would Tom Brady be without Belichick, and where would Belichick be without Brady? I mean, it's almost a symbiotic relationship there.
Exactly.
But yet without Belichick, where would the Patriots be?
Not far. They'd probably be a great team. However, the consistency and the success is what he brings to the table, with Brady, of course. It's like you said, it is such a magical cohesion. However, individually, it's not greater than the sum of the whole,
So our message, I think both of us, is saying, find your Belichick.
Yeah.
Find your Phil Jackson, or find the person that resonates with you, and get that coaching and get that relationship to elevate both people. Because I believe completely when you coach somebody else, it actually helps you too.
100%. I learn stuff every single time I'm in session. And here's furthermore an example. I went to Tony Robbins' Business Mastery in January. And he will say, and he is arguably the most successful coach on this planet. He's built a $6 billion organization. He's worth $500 million. And he's coached millions of people around the world. And he said, one of the biggest takeaways I took from that 5 days down in Florida was that he says, I right now have 3 coaches because I'm never the smartest person in the room, whether it comes to finance and managing my money, or whether it comes to which direction I should take this organization, which is inclusive of 23 businesses from Fiji to everywhere in America. That just hit home. And to me, that's something that's so powerful to see, is like, yeah, this guy, he is the best coach. He is the most successful. He's what put coaching on the map, coaching outside of athletic coaching, of course, life, business, and all of the now coaches that you have access to, from spiritual to nutrition, and you name it. He has 3. He has 3, and that's just, to me, it's just speaks volumes about how powerful coaching is when you're working with this right person. And he will also tell you, if you can't afford coaching, find a mentor. Find somebody that is where you want to be in the next 3, 5 years, 10 years. Somebody that's done it. Whether if you're a podcaster, somebody that has all of the viewers that you want. Whether you're a coach, somebody like Tony Robbins. It's why I invest in Tony Robbins' whole entire university, and I invest in my own personal coach that's incredible. And I will invest in a therapist that's already gone through their own journey and their own story and healing, because there's always somebody that's ahead of you. So try to find somebody that really inspires you and ask them to be your mentor. Most people would never say no. They truly want to give the gift to help you at least maybe eliminate some of the struggles that you have, or maybe tell you to go this way instead of that way, or just show you a mirror of how powerful you are as a human and what you're capable of.
I'm blessed to have people on this show that have big hearts for people. I know you do. I can just tell. It's amazing. I have never met you before today. I haven't talked to you before today. Not really. And to see the synergy between us as people, it's because we both want good things for good people. We both want people to succeed that are good people. I see that in you. I feel that with me. I share this almost every show because I really believe in it. So I have this image of the staircase, but the staircase is made of hands of other people that are helping others to get to the top, because all of us are together in this, whether we know it or not, whether we think we are or not. There's no such thing as competition, because who you resonate with will be the people that you serve. And not everybody resonates with me. Not everybody resonates with Matt. But you know what? We have our people, but together we can serve more people. And together with other people like Sean Irwin and different people that I've met, and Jeffrey Kamke and the people that I know, and Carrie Ann Vickers. There's just so many people that I know that are wonderful people. Just absolutely wonderful people. Maya comes to mind. I mean, I have all these people that I know that I have this special relationship with. And if we all work together, I believe that we can change a lot of the things in this world. And I think it's going from negative to positive. I really do.
100%. Collectively, we are moving and expanding our consciousness around healing, around helping and supporting each other. And it is, at the end of the day, it's just one person at a time. You don't have to think grand picture here. One person at a time. And
yes.
It's that simple. And that first person should be yourself.
Can't help anyone else until you help yourself.
So true.
So true. Wow. This has been a powerful show. Can you tell me how to get a hold of you and those type of things? You have a coaching package and things. Just tell me everything about that stuff and let the audience know how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah. So I do complimentary discovery calls. You can head over to awakenmomentum.com. That's my website. That's my coaching website. Also, I'm on all the socials, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, at Awaken Momentum, or my other Instagram is at Matthew Shakir, MatthewShakir. And yeah, I'm happy to support anybody out there that's looking to really make a big shift. Change is hard, but change is really, really worth it.
Totally agree. And those links will be in the description of the show. So you can just click on that and get right to where Matt is at. And I think that, like I said, I think he really has a heart for people. And I totally believe that he wants to help each and every one of you. If you guys resonate, you can have that call and see if things work. And if you're fit, then that would be great. And you can move forward.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And yes, absolutely. 100%. Showing up and being of service to others is the pinnacle theme that I will continue to follow in my own path. So.
All right. Well, it's been a great show. It really has. I really appreciate you being here, Matt. I also want to say, just for the people here, hit the subscribe button and the little bell thing. And then for Matt, if you go to his website, and it's just a call to see if it's a fit or not. And I think that that's something that's pretty easy to do. And you might get a lot of help out of that. So I really recommend you doing that. And Matt, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and go out there and change your own world.
Oh, wow. I agree with that. Everybody have a good day, and I'll see you next time.